Hi, I'm architect Amit Mahajan, founder of One Design. I'm the principal architect, and we got offices in Mumbai and Nashik. The firm is about 10 years old, and I personally have completed over 15 plus years of experience, okay, in the field of architecture and design. Since I come from very varied in culture, geographical driven experience. Since I was in UK, I did my I did my graduation. Sorry, not the graduation, the masters from UK, and I also worked in UK. I worked with one of the top five companies in UK called Benoit. So I drive in this one design, or I drive the authentic design ideas, which speaks volume of its efficient design and build environment. I hold masters of degree in architecture from Institute of Lincoln, UK, and a bachelor's degree from Pune Institute. When you speak about art in architecture or an architect, who's in architecture, like we have art in it, itself. Every space that we perceive, we look at it as a canvas, okay, whether it's a 2D drawing or a 3 dimension. Similar to an artist, when we start designing, we try to look at the proportion, scale, composition, not only at the macro level but also at the micro level. Looking at aesthetics. Okay, every space we walk into, I believe there is an art in every space, every every pattern that we design, every form that we design. There's a scale in art form. Okay, so these spaces tend to emit some kind of energy, and these energy triggers emotions, and that's when I know that the art fits the right, the form, whatever you create, whether you create an art out of the architecture, out of a form, out of a mass, or you want to create art out of a painting, anything like that. Okay, so these skills put together define art. Art in interiors becomes a force of urge, like which brings these things together to create dynamic space. You know, so I believe that there is definitely an integral, important part that the art plays in interiors. See, like I said, as an interior designer, every furniture we design, we want to make sure, apart from being its functional use, it also creates some kind of a uniqueness that we can bring into the client and make him understand that we are quite known to the trend, and it kind of suits the style of interior that we're trying to make. Inception is quite similar, or not only similar, but as critical as placing a dot on a canvas. Here, first we understand we want to fulfill the brief. Then we outline the areas and elements or the form that can be turned into an art or can become an art. Okay, like it could be walls, the paint, the overlap patterns. Everything can become a form of art. And then, furthermore, like putting the icing on the cake, we identify spaces where we can add paintings, artifacts to meet the aesthetic benchmark of that space. I look for spaces when I design, uh, should be easy to, they should not be very loud. Uh, they'll be subtle. Furnitures, I tend to keep it very, very minimal. And I throw, I like to kind of throw colors through art, paintings, and some kind of a sculpture being there. Depending on the spaces, for example, it's a reception area. So there we can actually come up with different art form. There's a lot of volume that we can play with, and also sculptures can come up there. Paintings play a very important role. uh, what kind of calmness is adding, the energy it's adding, or the emotions triggering in that particular space. A painting in reception is definitely different than a painting in a conference room. Most of our clients, largely they depend on what we got to offer. Okay, and we got to take a client on the imagination and make them realize that this particular art would look nice. Clients, naturally not being from this background or from interior architecture or being an architect, they will not be able to kind of blend colors together, or would probably understand which color needs more emphasis on that. Or any painting art form, how would you fill that volume, how would you fill that space? I believe that we need to promote art, and people, it's just that, see, you can't quantify an art. Okay, the cost variation ranges from, there's a huge gap in it. Okay, and it's like emotional value. So society definitely needs to promote art by doing exhibitions, or getting into magazines or schools, colleges, make people understand. So I think it's very simple that people are understanding a good clothes. It's like what do you wear? How do you wear it? Is it too colorful? It's so combination is something people are already aware of. Lifestyle. It's part of a lifestyle. Again, art, being a collector of an art, you have to be also. I think you need to have a kind of passion to collect that. You need to understand um, how does it want to differ. You want to make your space differ from the other person. It's more like a luxury quotient now. I have mostly I've acquired art when I was traveling. I traveled to a lot of countries. I have collected art, and so something I tend to create art. So what you see behind me, it's been created. Okay, so I'm very so I kind of see every piece of different furniture or something that I find. I want to create it. Most of the painting we buy online. Okay, because of COVID-19, we've traveled. Because of COVID-19, we couldn't go to the shops and everything, and then we did a couple of interiors during that time, and we also did a couple of commercial projects. So we gave links to the client. We said, this is what you should buy. This is how it's going to look like. We photoshopped the whole painting with the backdrop, see how it's going to look like. So the client has selected paintings based on our references. See, it depends on what value of art you're buying online. So there's a website that we've been referring to called Calcutta.in. So for paintings, for I think for painting only, and there is Art House. So there are a couple of websites that we've been referring to during COVID-19, and then we also started during COVID-19. We had an inception called One Design Online, where we thought that why not we take the entire designing process online and make it virtual. See, Indian mentality is something that we need to also look at it. Unless until people touch and feel a certain thing, but art is something people don't want to touch it. If you want to hang a painting on the wall, you don't have to go and touch the painting. People want to appreciate that's how the digital print paintings are being more popular nowadays. So if you look at all these websites like Calcutta, all these paintings are there, they are giving away online. They're doing a lot of business like that. So challenges is going to be definitely, see again, like I said, the art, I would say the expression or understanding the art is in the eyes of the beholder. And so how do I look at the art is going to, how does it interest me? How does it affect, rather, excites me? What kind of emotion it triggers me? And then I want to buy it. So obviously, if you are you have a platform where artists can showcase their work, I think for like any other startup, reaching out to people is always a critical moment. That's the biggest challenge. How do you reach out to people? So when we were working on One Design Online, and we thought, how do we reach out to people? We realized the same thing, that we have to marketing something we need to look at, and the other aspect would be happy customers. And then having them uh, you know talking about ourselves, getting reviews from them would be able to get us a better benchmark.